Before I get on to my Doctor Who review that I'm going to be doing later on this afternoon, let's talk about England. Yes, I did my predictions, and I'm going to be doing a review tonight after the final game between Czechia and Portugal, the first round. But let's talk about England. So I was in Canberra for the first game at a nice pub, proper English supporting pub, and first half really good. I think Kane held up the ball pretty nicely. Trent wasn't too bad. He had a few mistakes, but it got badder for badder. It's not even a word. It got worse for Trent, and it's clear that's the only position right now, and Jubellion and Foden's positions that are in question right now. I think I'm going to say his name wrong, but Galliai, is that how you say his name? I can't remember. The person who wore the number 6 shirt, I'm going to say that. He was brilliant, and he got a lot of criticism, I think, in the Iceland game. And he hasn't had many minutes, and he looked pretty comfortable in that position. So, looking forward to seeing if he can stay. I mean, the defence was a bit iffy in the first half and second half, and it was clear that this was the game plan, just to maybe get 2 goals. I think they were probably going to get 2 goals, but just to hold back and enjoy defence. But yeah, it's very difficult to say that England's played really badly. I don't think they played perfectly, and it wasn't amazing football. But England have been always like that. They've never been perfect. I mean, we go back to the last tournament and we were amazing in the first game. So it's a real difference. It reminds me of the Scotland game, if you remember. I'm glad we're starting off not like amazingly, and it's a weird thing to say that because every English person are like, oh, England should do this, England should do that. Not really, because this is the group stages. We will get past this group stages. We will beat Denmark, and I think we beat them more convincingly. I'll say 2-1 for Denmark. I don't think we're going to start off very well. I do think we might come behind from the first half, but that's later on in this video. What I want to talk about is Harry Kane. He's my main conversation, and a lot of people are like, you don't take Kane out. But you kind of do, because you've got Ivan Toney there, you could put in that position. Push to shove, you could probably put Foden up front. It's not his natural position, but I think it might work like that if you put him up front and Bellingham behind, because he has got a lot of energy. Maybe a Cole Palmer, maybe Ivan Toney, maybe Ollie Watkins. You know, I'd like to see one of those 3 starting. Most likely Cole Palmer as well. I know he's a Chelsea boy, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I'd like to see Cole Palmer have some minutes here. He's had a really good season. He is so much better than Kane, I'm not going to lie. I mean, even Ivan Toney on his worst of seasons, I think you give him a chance in the Slovenia game. I think maybe not next game. I don't think taking Kane out automatically is going to be a good decision. We don't know what Gareth Southgate's going to do, but I think you put him on for 60, 70, 75 minutes, then you take him off for the last 50 minutes, I think, in any game, because he does look way too slow for a striker up front. I know he's meant to hold the ball, but I don't see it. I don't see us winning this tournament with Kane up front. I see him maybe being a player you bring on at the beginning of the games, but he's kind of lost his tempo a bit. But I wouldn't have said he's our worst player. By far, he's not our worst player, and he did a lot of tactical, smart decisions and you know, one of his key elements is, and it sounds very like shitty, but is to get the ball, either slow down the pace so we have players up front that can finish the ball off, or fall in on the floor, or get in positions where it is impossible for defender to not give away a foul. But I don't think England should be going into that. We've done that at the last World Cup. There's similarities to Kane's performance, but I don't think it works. I don't like it. I think it's boring. I think it's got to change if we want to win this tournament. Because we've done that, I would say 2020 Euros, we were different with Kane. Kane wasn't the main man. He wasn't getting a lot of the ball control. I mean, everyone's criticising Trent. There is moments there where Trent didn't look great, but he's in an unnatural position, and I think it's so annoying because you're such a young, talented squad. You've got players like Gallagher you could put in that position. You could put, I mean, push to shove, you probably could put Declan Rice in that position, and maybe change out Carl Walker and put Trent Alexander-Arnold back in his natural position, actually, if you think about it. But it's so difficult because there's a big jigsaw puzzle going on right now with Jude Bellingham and Foden's position. There's a big puzzle for Harry Kane. Do we keep him on the full 90 like we did this game, or do we take him off? I mean, a lot of people weren't happy with the subs, but I think the subs helped us massively. You know, Gallagher, he's usually not a great player for me at Chelsea, but he did very well. You know, he came on, controlled the midfield and made the tempo go back to England, and that's when I kind of started realising we were going to win. And Joel Bowen, absolute legend. The way he defended, knowing it wasn't where he was meant to be playing, helped the defence out. I think that's another option you could actually have. You put him in the midfield, and he goes back to the defence. I don't know his natural position, but he held our defence up really nice. And it's annoying because you're meant to keep the squad and get the defences up. But it's all to play for, really, isn't it, in this Euros, and how poorly defensively Denmark were in the game against Slovenia has got questions for us going further forwards. I'm going to do my shopping. I'll be back with you guys in a moment. See you then. So we're talking about substitutions, and they were brilliant. I mean, there is a possibility of Joel Bowen being in the squad. I don't know about Gallagher. He started well, but kind of faded off towards the end. But let's talk more about the performance itself quickly. I think it wasn't too bad. I think the game plan actually worked. It was risky because I think by the time we got to the last 15 minutes, we kind of realised we aren't going to score here. And we kind of, I don't think we held back, but we went for it, and we knew we weren't going to score. Serbia are a great team, and I said this before the game, the midfield is going to be a key issue for England in my head. And it was a key issue. If you look at most of their attacks, it's built from the midfield, and we were getting battered from the midfield. And it's going to be our biggest issue of the tournament because we haven't got a natural centre mid forward or a centre midfielder. You're going to have issues, you know, not producing up front. And a natural, you know, problem that we had constantly is we had to go backwards. And I think that first goal was very, not lucky, but very England. If you've seen England play in the past, you know that England sometimes get luck in these first games, and it has had luck. I think this is the first game probably since the 2018 World Cup where we were like, yeah, we got away with that one. I mean, that tournament in 2018 was amazing. We Shouldn't have finished where we finished, but we kind of upset the tournament. But yeah, I don't think initially it was Southgate's fault. I think the way he could have changed the game is made it more attacking, made it more open for options. But I've got to give it to Serbia. You can't say that England were bad. Serbia were good. I mean, England could have got at least a second goal. We should have got a second goal. We couldn't finish our chances in clinical positions. But you could look at that as the French last night, and a lot of people are overlooking the French result. But I'm saying no, don't overlook the French. French should be doing better than England. They actually did worse than England. A lot of people are saying, oh, France, and it's like this France getaway card, because France are the best team in the tournament, and everyone's like, oh, they just had a poor night. England had a poor night, and everyone's criticising England, and it's a good thing. And it's mostly, I'm hearing it from each fans, but I want to hear French fans' point of view from last night's game, how that was different. It was worse. The chances that they took, okay, our ones just missed by narrow margins. I think the clearest one was Carl Walker's. He's not a natural striker. For him to get in that position, you know, he's only scored one goal in his whole England career, so let him go off. And Foden had a really bad night, and he can have a night off. A lot of people were like, Foden out, Alexander-Arnold out. If you take those players out, you've got worries, because I don't think anyone does better in those positions. Maybe, possibly, Gallagher instead of Alexander-Arnold, and then you put Alexander-Arnold in his natural position of right back or left back. I don't know which position he naturally plays in off of the top of my head. But to say France were amazing last night and were miles apart from England, yes, but they had to get their goal from a header that was deflected from an Austrian. It wasn't going in. No one was there. If you look at it, at that option, Griezmann wasn't scoring it. I'm sure it was Griezmann or one of their players, I'm not too sure. But I cannot deal with this rubbish of England were worse than France. France and England were equal on their first performances, and it just shows you maybe everyone's overlooking Spain and Portugal and Germany, who I think are the better teams. Germany for sure are number one. Yes, it's Scotland. We need to wait and see how they do come against Hungary. But I can't disagree that Germany, I have a big disagreement with England playing worse than bloody France. I saw how France played last night. They were good, and I'm going to give them that they were better attacking than us. But apart from that, pretty similar. I'll be honest with you, they did worse because they didn't control the ball enough, and they gave the ball away really silly a lot of times. But that's France. I'm going to go indoors, drop the shopping off, have my ice cream. I'm going to continue this before I have my ice cream. I'm going to drop my shopping off. I'm outside my house, I don't have my keys. My shopping off, I'll put my key back outside, but yeah, I can't understand it. I really don't. I don't understand how France can get away with a shit performance, but England can't. And that's mostly England fans, but that's a good thing. It's a really good thing that we're being harsh on ourselves as a top team now. But the real question is, how did France get away with it? I don't know. France were really bad last night. Like, the Kylian Mbappe situation. First time being a captain, not good. Not good at all. Very disrespectful to Austria, and shouldn't have done it. And I don't know whose fault it was, whether it was the manager's fault. I think his name's Della Marseille, or Mbappe's fault. But Mbappe shouldn't have done it. Manager shouldn't have told him. Whoever's fault it is, someone needs to put their hands up and apologise to Austria, because disrespectful to Austria of all teams. My prediction about Austria, and it's funny enough, I predicted that Romania would do very well. And guess what? They won yesterday. But yeah, lots of mixed reactions. I mean, England's performance was average at best. Not great. I don't know, a lot of people, even the people that are like big England enthusiasts and, you know, big fans of this England team, will need to put their heads in shame. We weren't good enough, and we got a bit better when we come against Denmark. But let's do player of the game. For me, for England, player of the game, I'm gonna go Joel Bowen. He comes on. There's not like much he could do apart from do it, and the way he played, I think he was our best player in certain aspects. I mean, another one, Drew Bellingham, of course. I think he is. I'm going to change that, but best sub, I'm going to say Joel Bowen. Best player, got to be Bowen, Bellingham. Those two were brilliant. Gallagher was pretty decent, but he lacked quality in that last 10 minutes. I think also John Stones was pretty decent. Trippier had moments there. Alexander-Arnold, I think, was good, but wasn't amazing. And I'm not a big fan of Kane at the moment. I think you look at the options you've got on the bench, even a Cole Palmer, mate. You bring Cole Palmer on at any game. And I think further forwards, we do need to bring one of those three on. And it's going to be a big debate who we bring on, because I would say you bring on probably Ollie Watkins. I think he is the best option for us right now. He's more energetic. He's had a very good season. I think also you maybe bring on Cole Palmer in later games when it goes to penalties. We know how good he is at penalties, and I think that's an option later on in the tournament, maybe for Slovenia game, where we actually mix it up. We do need to win the next game in order for that to happen, but I actually think the third game is going to be our toughest game against Slovenia. I saw how good Slovenia were. I mean, Slovenia, Poland, Romania, not too sure about Slovakia, but Albania are very difficult teams to beat, I think, from what we're seeing. Italy struggled to keep their composure in the opening 28 seconds. Poland were on top of Netherlands for the first, I think, 20 minutes, but it didn't end very well. But Poland looked really good. I'm actually excited for Poland without Lewandowski. Don't know when Lewandowski returns. I think he returns next game, but without Lewandowski, that could be a really good team. You know, they didn't have Lewandowski, and I will do a proper review. I'm just going over what I've seen so far. Group A is very interesting as well, with Scotland and Hungary. I think a lot of people overrated them a bit, but I think reality is going to be a real check. I didn't expect Switzerland to do so well. I put them bottom. I apologise, but those younger players are coming out to shine, and this is something that I think this tournament is really good. We've seen a lot of players you don't normally actually keep your eye on. I mean, there's a lot of time still to play. I think the second round is going to be the biggest round of the competition. It will actually decide factors. I actually don't think Germany are that good. I don't think they're that good. I think they have elements of defensive errors in the second half. You know, Scotland didn't get into their half enough and didn't test them enough. But they come against Hungary, that's going to be a physical game. And I can see that ending in a draw. I don't think Germany are going to be that good ending to the group stages. I think they might go third, maybe quarter-final, semi-final with this tournament. But I think it's time. I think it's very similar to England. But they've had the best result of the tournament, and there's a lot of eyes on them, and a lot of people saying it's Germany again of 2006. I don't think so. I can't see Germany winning this tournament. I think they will go far. It might be semi-final, might be quarter-final, but I don't think they're going to win it, because they do have a lot of players who don't have the experience. And someone's playing It's Coming Home, and I don't want that playing out right now. Turn it off. It's not coming home yet. No. No one agrees with you. It's not coming home yet. That's the message I'm bringing away here in this video. It's not coming home yet, but it could do. And that's where I'm going to end this video. Weird way to finish it off, just going through some teams. Still got Group F to play. I'm excited about Portugal, Czechia. I'm a bit annoyed by why they keep calling them Czech Republic. They're Czechia. They're not Czech Republic. I don't know what's going on there, but such an exciting Group F. And watch out for Czechia, because I think they could beat Portugal, and I think Turkey will beat Georgia for sure. And for sure, Turkey might be the favourites. I said this in my predictions ages ago. Watch out for Turkey. They are going to be good this tournament. They're not going to be as bad as they were last tournament. They will get top two, for sure. And they might just beat Portugal, because Czechia have got them tonight. So fingers crossed, Czechia do something. But anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this England review of Serbia. Lots to talk about, lots of things to take away, and a lot of, questions for England. Can we do something good from this point onwards? I mean, we got to take positives. We were good in that game. We weren't bad. We had elements. We were like France, but a little bit worse than France. I got to admit that. But I can't say France were great. You can't say France were better than England. You just can't. They got elements of attack, but not... It wasn't like they were amazing. They kind of scuffed a lot of their chances in that game, and they should have been 3 or 4 goals up there against Austria, if you're being totally honest. But for England, I think the biggest thing we need to take away is attacking element. We need a new striker instead of Harry Kane. We need an option. We need to take him off. He's not actually that good, and I would have thought even improved from the Bundesliga, but Bundesliga is probably the second, one of the easiest divisions if you think about it. It's a difficult division, but for a player that's been in I've got to be honest, a much stronger squad, you don't put Kane up front anymore after the Denmark game if he doesn't perform, because you need someone who can attack. We can't have this thing of someone on the ball who holds up and waits for a foul. We can't have that. That's not what England should be. We should be attacking football, but that might be Southgate. That might be what Southgate wants. And I've never doubted Gareth, but I do doubt him a little bit now, because that's the worst. I actually think that's worse than the game against Tunisia in 2018, actually, because at least we were attacking. There's not attacking element in our team. I mean, it's a good defensive element, and I'm impressed by the defence, because a lot of people were questioning the defence, but now it's the midfield and the attack. And how we build up our play needs to be slightly better. But those questions need to be answered in 2 days' time, on Thursday. I will be back on Thursday night, straight after the game. I'm going to give you my straight thoughts after the game, actually, this time. I've taken a bit more time on this one, because it's difficult to really process how England go into this next game. I think the biggest thing we need to take away is we did get a win. That's how you start to it. And sometimes winning not perfectly in the first game can sometimes, hinder improvements. And we do need to improve. We do need to get better if we want to beat teams like Italy, France, Spain, even Germany, Netherlands. Those are the teams, and maybe even Portugal tonight. Not worried about Belgium as much after they lost yesterday, incredibly. And, teams like Austria are teams that we could worry about in the knockouts eventually, if we're not careful. So, yeah, it's all too early to predict how England will end this tournament. But what I will say, it's not coming home yet. That's my final message. But it might just, well, be on its way. That's what I'm going to take from this. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys soon. Bye bye.